Hey guys, I want to start by saying this is a very heavily mindset-based video, but videos like this are really made to kind of help shift perspectives in different directions from the ones that they're, going in. So without further ado, I made a video a month or 2 or 3 ago about rappers supporting each other and how I think there's not really a point to it. I'll link that in the description, so for anyone who watched that, like me for instance, and went, I disagree, I made this video to kind of uncover for my audience the counterpoints to that argument. Because a lot of the time when people disagree with me on things like that, I'm actually totally on their side. It just doesn't seem like it because I'm a robot and my brain lives in the future. And I just want to show them why I agree with them. So let's talk about it. Because in that video, I talked a lot about artists who expect support in return for support. In reflection to that, a good point I made is that supporting other artists is not a two-way street, because if it were, celebrities wouldn't exist. And I feel like that's really important, but I also feel like, in a way, that not many people can easily explain, part of getting a lot of something is basically showing gratitude for it. So like with supporting artists, there's a whole mindset that like comes with it, and appreciating it is so important. Personally, I have received more upside out of being grateful for everything people say to me about my music than expecting it to be better than it is. Like if you want to expect anything better of anyone, who would that ideally be other than you? Isn't the person with the most power the one who cares the most? Anyone who hears something like this and just laughs it off probably hasn't considered the different layers to such a question. I mean, think of it. Many people just naturally don't give a shit about things. But I don't know, I feel like all the babies just being shot out of vaginas nowadays, many of us are, regardless of nature versus nurture, we end up, as adults, more of us end up giving more of a fuck about what others think of us than not giving a fuck about what others think of us. Maybe that's not true. I mean, to an extent, I don't give a fuck. But what I do care about is that there are like different layers to it. Isn't it important to care about whether or not you care? If you don't keep that in check, you're gonna slip into bitch mode again and start caring too much about the things that you don't want to value the most from yourself, right? So it's like caring about the right things in the right ways gets the right results that you're looking for. Well, isn't what you care about most at any given moment what you're most focused on during that moment? I'm not you. I can answer these questions for me, but not you. So isn't it more important to focus on what you appreciate than what you expect? Shit. I feel like all you need to do is shift your focus. I've heard so many things about this, many of which I've heard from Tony Robbins, like how gratitude is the universal ultimate key to wealth, or how the greatest way to kill fear is to have an overwhelming sense of gratitude. But anyone could easily watch this and be like, dude, that's such a load of horse shit. Like, I was thankful for what I had once, and nobody gave me anything afterward. But was that person really grateful? Or were they just trying too hard not to give? I feel like in a really weird, spacey way, there's some sort of universal law that makes sure you get what you give. If you give a lot of support to other artists, you're gonna get that shit in return. But I also feel like a great way to increase the odds of that is making sure that you're as dope as you possibly can be, progressing relentlessly, and also giving from every single angle you can to the point where a touch of your support means more to people than literally that of anyone else. Like that of,
a celebrity perhaps.
And a lot of artists are quick to play the victim just because their friends care less about those careers than that of Justin Bieber or Kanye West or Donald Trump. But that's probably why, like, dude, if you want to get to that level, why don't you find out what people want and become that in the form of your highest self? Shit is not that hard. I think it just takes time. Sometimes people ask me,
if you're so smart, why aren't you rich?
Maybe I can see where they're coming from. Okay, I can definitely see where they're coming from. But if you can be super young and make millions of dollars at the same time, wouldn't that depend on the way you did it and the reasons and all that other bullshit? I look at the way people my age get rich nowadays and I'm like, nah,
I don't really resonate with that.
Maybe that's just me, but don't most overnight successes take like between 20 and 30 years? And people hear about that alone and they're like, well, if it took 20 to 30 years, then maybe it's not an overnight success, is it? I mean, dude, it's only considered an overnight success because you only saw the point where they really hit the fucking jackpot. You didn't see all the fucking times that they woke up at 3:30 in the morning and grinded, I don't know the past tense of grind, but it's a verb, I guess, so grindled since then, and fucking for 18 hours a day. So that's what you're probably fucking missing if that's your point. And isn't it about the processing of information that's taken in? Isn't that what's a lot of what intrinsically helps determine what creates so much value for so many people? And I don't always just ask these questions because I'm trying to get other people to think. It's because I really have no fucking idea and I want to figure it out and I want to think about it for myself too. But what do you guys think? Is there a point to rappers supporting each other? And if so, what is it? Let me know if you guys have anything you want me to talk about about in future videos, and I'll give you a shout out if and when I use them. Please feel free to hit me up. There are links at the bottom of the description to all my social media. Also at the bottom of the description there are links to my new production kits where you can find all the hardware and software that I use to make music. If you buy any, I get commission, which helps me build this channel and keep making these videos for you guys. I made all the beats in this video. If you want to use them, you can find links to each one from first to last in the description or at samuel.earth/beats. Make sure to leave a like if you like it, subscribe if you haven't already. If you could turn on that little bell to receive a notification every time I drop a new video, that will mean the world to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can find me everywhere, and I will see you then.